Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Roundtable 2023 Qualifiers Tournament. Today we've got the first game of the day, arguably one of the best matches of the weekend. Maliszewski against mcy4 in the winners bracket. This is an incredible matchup. Two fantastic players in their own right. mcy4 hugely popping off throughout this tournament time, and Maliszewski being Maliszewski, doing Maliszewski things, as I'm sure you all know. I'm Sad Shiva. Joining by me today, for the first time in a while, is that ever so wonderful Doomsday. Welcome, Doomsday. Hello.
Hello, Shiva. What's going on, mate?
Yeah.
It's time for full British for the full meaty matchup here. mcy4, I think, in terms of a lot of the players, even in this tournament, has been on such great form. He's been a monster in the matches he's played so far. Multiple FCs. He's 6-0'd into camping in the round of 16, which is incredible. But he's up against Maliszewski here, who, let's not beat around the bush. He is the one to beat. He is far and away the strongest tournament player in terms of raw output, and he's shown to be the huge favourite for this. He's going to have to bring his A game.
Yeah, Maliszewski's performances has been alien-like. The scores that he's put up in his recent matches have just been absolutely unreal. You know, only losing a couple maps against mcy4 by the tiniest of margins. Such an unfathomably strong player. Far and away the best tournament player in 2022, and making a name for making a debate for one of the best tournament players in 2023. We're already so early into the year, but he's already shown how prolific he is at practically everything, especially in that hidden and tech. But if we were to look at mcy4, he has got fantastic performances throughout this tournament. He's really made a name for himself as one of those fantastic all-rounders, especially in the tech. Tech is definitely a skill set that mcy4 has kind of flexed up the most in these recent matches. Hard rock is also a strong skill set for him. He's just a fantastic all-rounder overall. He's really done fantastic this week, last week, and the weeks before. Really doing good.
So Maliszewski then. I'm sure a lot of people watching know exactly what you're getting into, but it's so hard to poke at this guy in a tournament setting. He's so well-rounded. His hidden is out of this world. His consistency is ridiculous. His skill cap is nearly uncapped as far as tournament difficulty goes. I think the one thing you can poke at him there, and I see Stamina's mentioned there, which is true, you can poke at Maliszewski at speed at the highest level. That's probably where he's least comfortable, but he's still perfectly capable.
I think quite literally the only maps we've seen Maliszewski struggle a tiny bit on is it's normal 2 and speed in general. I think those are the two maps that, don't get the wrong idea, don't get it twisted, Chad. That is not a weakness. It's just the thing that he might not be as dominant on the other picks. You know, the only times he's lost these maps, you know, on potentially, you know, speed or flow aim are against players who are incredibly strong in those. For example, Xylus, where he lost that normal 2 just barely. Against someone like Xylus, you know he's going to be really strong on that. He's quite literally only going to really lose particular maps if you're against a specialist and it's not against Maliszewski's already prime skill set. Yeah, this guy, absolutely terrifying to play against. His performances are alien-like. You know what he is. He's one of the best tournament players we've ever seen. Yeah, I think if you already know Maliszewski, you already know how great he is. You've already seen him. But let's move on to mcy4, Doomsday. What do you think?
If there's a player in this tournament that could take him down, I think in terms of just being on such great form, mcy4 is probably one of the names to do it. You know, a couple others come to mind, but mcy4, the way he's been playing, Maliszewski's definitely going to have to keep his wits about him. He has looked incredibly impressive, multiple FCs already, and we've seen many good players barely FC anything in these matches. mcy4 has shown that he can finish off these plays, and that's going to be important against Maliszewski, right? Such high mechanics on him as well, and he's been super good on the aim-heavy maps. He's been really good on tech maps as well. Loves his ult. A lot of the maps that, admittedly, Maliszewski also, you know, have his strongest skills on, but mcy4 has shown that if he can keep those FCs going, You could definitely rock Malice in this matchup, I think.
This match is definitely a battle of wits. I think both of these guys have very similar strengths and weaknesses. We've both seen these players try and hide from that speed. Most specifically, I think both these players struggle a little bit on speed in comparison to other specialists we've seen in this tournament. But on top of that, their strengths so similar, both incredible all-rounders. So it's definitely going to be a clash. And I think we're going to see a pretty unique ban and pick strategy here as well. You know, when you both have incredibly strong skill sets, you don't want to waste a pick on a map that you already know you're both strong on. So it's definitely going to be a game of chicken. Who's going to pick that No Mod 4? Who's going to pick that Hidden 1? Who's going to pick that Hard Rock 3? For example, I think those three maps in particular are going to be three that both these players are really formidable on. Both these players are in the lobby, Doomsday. Rolls come through, maliszewski wins the roll, and it's time to decide who is going to take the first pick and ban.
It's all kicking off. I'm intrigued about how the bans are going to go. mcy4 has double banned raw speed and stamina both matches so far. I feel like this is the matchup where if you really want to try and be a bit brave, you'll want to go into some of those tapping maps. I don't know if mcy4 is going to change his strat, but I'm very curious. He should be pretty capable on the stamina side of things. And that DT3 resurrection spell, I'd say it's one of the maybe more doable maps in the pool, one of the easier ones. I don't know if you want to go for a staring contest on a map where it could be a double FC, but the Aqua might actually be very winnable. I don't know.
This Double Time 3 is pretty different because although it does have extremely high PPM of 270, this does display a lot of raw speed, but it's a little bit more on the bursty side and the map is incredibly short. So as long as these guys are capable of, you know, this isn't as stamina intensive as other maps that we've had. Double Time 2 is especially stamina intensive. Yes, still speedy, but definitely something that you want to avoid a lot more. Double Time 3, despite being incredibly fast, is not too stamina intensive, along with being incredibly short. So I think both these plays could pick that Double Time 3 as a wildcard option if they practiced it. But yeah, considering this map is incredibly short, you know, you really don't want to pull that gamble if you have other options available. And for both these players, considering how well-rounded they are, I don't think we're going to see the Double Time 3 unless we see a wild card or maybe potentially an other pick being saved up for later.
Here come the bans. Hard Rock 2 first banned here for maliszewski, kicking things off. Precision Hard Rock is gone. Good ban, I'd say, against mcy4. Get rid of more Hard Rock. And
yeah, I don't think that's too bad of a ban at all, to be honest. I think that's a solid ban. You know, if we were to reflect the scores we've seen from mcy4, maybe if you were looking at the stats on paper, Hard Rock 2 might have not been too ideal of a pick, but knowing mcy4, knowing how well he's performed, he's got that confidence against someone like maliszewski, he might want to go for that Hard Rock 2. This Hard Rock 2 is really funky and might be something that's up mcy4's alley, and maliszewski just wants to give rid of that potential strength. But looking at these map bans for mcy4, we've seen a repeated pattern of that speed, stamina intensive play. Just wants to get rid of it, just doesn't want to deal with that weakness. And No Mod 2 is the next ban for maliszewski, which honestly makes a lot of sense. The only maps that we've seen maliszewski miss on, let alone struggle, God forbid, is that No Mod 2. So I think it's safe to say that's a fair ban to go for with maliszewski here. I think it's a solid ban phase overall. I think both these players have decided well.
I think in terms of like the number 2 fight, if you compare last week's scores, mcy4 would have won that on Axe. So yeah, getting rid of that number 2 gets rid of a pretty decent map for mcy4. That stream map is pretty damn hard though. FCs are the premium on that. But yeah, mcy4 sticking with his speed ban is super interesting. I guess he just doesn't want to play stamina speed ever in this tournament.
It might just be a situation where, yes, I may not be strong, but you are also struggling, but you may be just a little stronger, so I just don't want to go with that. That's probably mcy4's mindset here. He knows he's weak, but you think maliszewski potentially could maybe excel just a little bit harder. But we're going to the first pick here. Hidden 3 for mcy4, Shadow Castle.
Oh, this is such a ballsy first pick, man. Shadow Castle is probably one of the harder maps in the pool, in my opinion. Extremely gimmicky, janky flow aim with very weird aim shapes you have to snap to. Very control heavy. maliszewski, he's He's got ridiculous ult, and he's on hidden. This is going to be a good map for Malice, I think. This is definitely one of those maps you see him pop off on, so... It'll be early miss, though, actually.
What you described,
it's pretty huge.
What you described about this matchup, honestly, is very, very accurate. This map is very, very aim control intensive, a little bit of funky ult, but you see those really strange wiggle patterns there that can really trouble a few players, and we've already seen maliszewski break early at the very, very beginning. Very, very start of this map, mcy4 has a small combo advantage, but so far, so good aside from that. Accuracy about 1% lead. This map's not too short, about 3 minutes nearly. 2 minutes 49 seconds, about 10 seconds off that 3-minute mark. So I wouldn't say it's over just yet. I think mcy4 breaking just there is going to flip the script a little bit, give maliszewski that advantage. If that was a small blunder from Ristel, it's safe to say that he's in a pretty good situation at the moment, but we're already about halfway through this map and Ristel has the advantage.
Both players doing really well on these patterns, though. Just one unfortunate break, and that is it for both sides. This map is no joke. We saw Xylus destroy this map, but that was an incredible score. These two looking to pull off a similar feat, it seems. This is no joke from either of them.
Absolutely not. Yeah, this is definitely solid play. Those early breaks are definitely early game jitters, I think. But we look at these little sections here, could trip up anyone easily. Look at this incredibly janky aim. Both these players are holding on really, really strong. We've passed the halfway mark, and both these players continue to hold. maliszewski, early advantage, boosting his score a little further away, but if a break comes through, it could be disastrous. It's close. It's too close to the point to determine whether if maliszewski breaks, it's won or not. It's definitely not sealed. That 400 combo is still maybe a disadvantage, but not a surefire sign of maliszewski's early victory here. 3/4 the way through this map, having to get harder and harder. Neither player decides to break. They don't want to, man. They want to hold on. It quite literally doesn't have much time with the break, but maliszewski breaks the very, very start of that pattern there. Oh no, not good for maliszewski. mcy4.
He's going in. Both players hit 1k combo on this. That is incredible. mcy4 needs more.
He's got to keep going. He's got to hold. The patterns get harder and harder towards the late stages. Has he got enough time? No, he doesn't. He breaks. The time question is not a matter of fact anymore. maliszewski takes it. He may trade the break, but I don't think there's enough time. About 20k difference. Both these players are trading breaks. I think it's decided now. maliszewski, just barely by the skin of his teeth, takes map number 1 and a break point at that.
Dude, how can a match start out that crazy? Those are two incredible scores on this.
9,000.
No joke.
9,000 score difference there. Wow.
Gotta imagine getting 620k on this and losing. That's what happens when you face maliszewski, I guess, but 3 miss from mcy4. maliszewski with a bit more combo, saving the day. What a start, but it is a break point to open this one up in favor of Team Red. Malice with the next pick in tow. Wow.
maliszewski's got plenty of options there, and now he doesn't have to worry about picking that that hidden 3. You know, it's safe to say hidden 3 was a solid option for maliszewski to go for. And mcy4 picked it early, and he felt confident. He definitely was. Those scores from both players was incredibly close, but he's gonna go for that double time 3. He's gonna go for that resurrection spell. 270 BPM raw speed, incredibly short. He definitely thinks he's gonna take this over. We'll have to wait and see. Taking a look at this double time 3, the raw speed pick of this map pool, 270 BPM, but incredibly short. 1 minute 23 seconds. AR 9.9, OD 9.8, not pretty expected. What matters here is that this is very bursty, very, very quickly. It's not too stamina intensive. It's not continuous long streams like the double time 2. Potentially maliszewski wants to take advantage of that raw speed ability. He may feel he's more confident than mcy4. And considering mcy4 banned the speed picks before, I think maliszewski wants to try to nick at that weakness, maybe take over. But mcy4 is no slouch, man. He's a great all-rounder for a reason. He's going to potentially take it. We'll have to wait and see. He's got the chance. It's definitely not a done and dusted pick here. We're going to have to see what goes on, man.
It's a bit of a toss-up, really. He does better on the day on a map like this. Will it come down to the aqua? Will someone slip on a slider or something? Slip on a burst? At the moment, it's very even. Slight aqua lead here for mcy4. Longer streams coming in the second half. That might play into it.
We're already halfway through the map, and it's getting incredibly bursty. Big actor from mcy4 to break, unfortunately, after maliszewski takes the lead. But it looks incredibly close there for a moment. Just that massive act drop takes down. But maliszewski breaks at the 3/4 mark. Does mcy4 have enough time? I don't think that's the case. He's going to break, unfortunately.
He can't pull it back. Bit of combo from maliszewski again, saving the day. There's 80k, but there's no combo on mcy4's side. Surely they not enough time here.
Acceleration section here gets more and more intense. mcy4 breaks once again, and that's definitely sold it for sure. maliszewski 2-0 up on that double time 3. Well picked for maliszewski. He's got a lot of options now coming up forward, coming up ahead of him. Solid pick.
I think it was a very good pick, honestly, because taking that DT3 out of the pool as well in his own pick kind of reduces mcy4's options a little bit, I suppose, other than just picking into stuff Malice is going to be good at. It's a good point for Malice to take off a speed map away from mcy4, who, again, another pretty close one, just a bit of combo deciding it. I think that pick was always going to be like that, though. Between these two, just how does it go on the day?
Both these players incredibly well-rounded, really strong on very similar skill sets. So when you're in mcy4's situation, when you get picked that no mod 4, you think in the back of your head, maliszewski's so good on this. Do I want to risk it? Do I want to hope he picks it for me? But this could be one pick that mcy4 could take over on. Just keep in mind, both of these guys well known for their incredible tech ability. Both of these guys have seriously popped off in tournament on these tech picks, on these no mod 4s, on these hidden 3s, on the techie hidden 3s at least, and the techie hard rock 4s, hard rock 3s.
mcy4 is going to risk it for a biscuit. Picking tech into maliszewski does sound like death, and it usually is, to be honest. But mcy4 has really liked his tech. He has been really good at it in this tournament so far, so he's definitely hoping for a strong performance here. He's going to need it. This map is pretty nasty on the tech patterns, in sense of it has these very tough back and forth streams you have to really snap to into the crazy slider shenanigans, so you have to be a very proficient no mod 4 player to do well on this in tournament. We'll see if mcy4's got the bottle.
I think when you have similar strength against someone like maliszewski, your mindset into going into the game is to pick what I'm good at and just hope I do better. Because when you're against someone like maliszewski, you just don't know what to do. The only options you have is to just hope you do better on what you are strong with. And that might be mcy4's mindset into picking this no mod 4. But here we go. We're going into this no mod 4 Doomsday Program Roulette. Bang a song and a bang a map of that. You can already see those snapping doubles, not tripping either player up. Accuracy. mcy4's favor in these early stages in the first quarter of this map.
Map's about to kick off now into the first real tough section. Who handles it better? Here we go.
Here we go. You can already see these sections really funky. Some really weird sliders and really difficult aim control. You see those little overlaps with accelerating spacing. Really awkward stuff here. But both these players continue to hold. mcy4 with that small accuracy advantage. Never mind evening it out. The score flipping back and forth. It's dead even right now. Maybe a small actor from mcy4 gives maliszewski that tiny lead, but a break unfortunately is going to seal that early lead for maliszewski about halfway through the map. This is the worst case scenario for mcy4. The timing is disastrous. As long as maliszewski holds in this ki, it probably sealed it. He's capped at 600k, and they both hit it, but maliszewski hits the entire ki. Contrast to mcy4, who sadly broke in the middle of it. This is a seriously dire situation.
mcy4 missed once. He didn't drop much ac at all. He missed once, and that was it. And that's all it needs for maliszewski to take advantage. This is the level of margins we're working with here, man. That is heartbreaking for mcy4. It's an amazing play, but it's not enough so far.
Score V2 is so painful if you're in that situation, man. Missing at the halfway point in the Ki, and then after that, having it be rubbed in your face in a slow section that just gives maliszewski more easy combo to extend his lead on. We're going into this final Ki, but honestly, Doomsday, I think this has already been sealed. We're getting to the last quarter of the map, building up to the final Ki. As long as maliszewski holds here, I don't think it's going to matter. mcy4 may have recovered decently well, reaching that 500 combo mark, and we're going into the final Ki. But Risto breaks just on the 600k mark. Hold on a minute.
I think we spoke a bit too soon.
Wait,
I mean, there's not much time left, and there's a lot of score to make up.
Hold on a second. mcy4, he's holding. He may have missed that halfway point, but is it going to cap ahead of maliszewski's score? He breaks once again. This could
here
be
we go.
Damage.
Here we go, Shiba.
It's going to start slowly folding in now. The score lead's going to slowly maybe just get an advantage, but it's not budging. I don't know.
He's not getting score enough.
He's not getting enough score. It's finally started moving a little bit, but there's not enough time. maliszewski takes it, but it was a very frightening prospect for a moment.
Now let's see. Was that a double slider break? Because that was a singular miss on both sides, right? I'm fairly certain of that. Let's take a look at this scoreboard, because that was incredible stuff again from both of these two players.
70,000 score, 71,000 score. 4 miss from maliszewski, but that combo game is massive.
Oh, it was on one pattern, right, from maliszewski. Oh no, he broke twice. Never mind. He did break twice in that end section. Still, though, it's very minimal. 98.8 is incredible for maliszewski, but that's just what he does, man. mcy4, though, incredible one miss. That was it. It's not enough, though.
The timing. Score V2's timing just butchers mcy4's score. The potential score it could have been. 71,000 points was all that it took, but maliszewski's now 3-0 up, and you hate to be in mcy4's position because it's maliszewski's turn to pick up a map that could extend his lead even further to that 4-0. He tried. He almost got it. Just barely missing out on that win, but fortunately didn't work out for him, and now we're moving on to the next pick for maliszewski. My guess is that he's going to either go for the hidden 4. Oh, no, he's not. Hard Rock 4, it appears like.
Hard Rock 4? Okay. Okay.
Shrine Party.
That's the control-heavy Hard Rock pick. Weird rhythms, weird aim, weirdness on Hard Rock.
This is definitely... Yeah, go on.
Oh, okay. I personally thought this was a pretty good shot for mcy4, who's been very good on these so far this tourney. In the head-to-heads against maliszewski, he's traded blows really well. maliszewski going for it, though, which, I mean, in theory, this is definitely a maliszewski map as well, being very techy and control-heavy. Well, we'll see.
This map, for sure, is one of the hardest maps in the pool.
Yeah.
Has ridiculous slider aim, extremely high velocity, and that with Hard Rock to boot, where slider breaks can be so easily done. Super, super tough map to pull through, but someone with a skill cap like maliszewski, I don't think this is too bad of a pick, but you are right when you say this kind of leads into mcy4's skill sets here.
It is a case of, though, it's being really good at this versus being fantastic at it. At the moment, the accuracy game is, well, I mean, look at it. It's 11% of AC in the early openings. No one's missed yet, though. But the AC tells the story.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the accuracy department, we see the comfort really shine for maliszewski here. About 9.88% in accuracy difference here. We're going to this first Ki. You can already see the sliders get really, really tough, and it trips up mcy4. FC still in maliszewski's hands. We haven't reached that halfway mark yet. So there's still always potential for maliszewski to break in this Ki, and that's what happens! I called it, Doomsday!
No, it's Bancho.
Oh.
He hasn't missed. No, he's still going. He's still going.
How could you do this to me?
It happens. They got you good. But yeah, I mean, maliszewski has #1 on this. I've just been informed, so all of a sudden this pick makes complete sense. But mcy4, the way he's been playing on these, it's a good shout for him, but looking at this, he's struggling so much on the act. There's only so much you can do when you're below 90%. That's so much score you don't have, man.
Oh, that break again. That's definitely sealed it. I think if maliszewski was to break regardless, that accuracy disadvantage is going to make it super difficult. He'd have to hope that maliszewski chain miss multiple times. But we know maliszewski, we know how consistent he is. And now that you mentioned that he got #1 on this map in the leaderboards, this is a very, very good pick, and you can see why that comfort extends to his score. And are we going to see an FC? Bancho may have pulled a cheeky little prank on me, but I don't like the cameras looking at me right now. I still want to see this FC. mcy4 breaking multiple times. It's not going to help his case.
It's all eyes on maliszewski right now. mcy4 is out of this one. He just can't hold the act together. Shows how hard this map is. But maliszewski, 96, still hasn't missed. Making a mockery of the tag of difficulty on this. Wow.
Oh,
no, that's got to be a break, right? Oh, it's Bancho.
Bancho!
What are you doing, Bancho? You had one job.
Looking at these sliders, though, look how crazy this map is! maliszewski, FCs, Hard Rock 4. This map is ridiculous, and you can tell because look at mcy4's score. This guy is a beast at everything, even on Hard Rock, and he struggled immensely. This map is ridiculous. How on earth has maliszewski done that? I do not know. My God, what a score. Definitely one of the best scores we're going to see this weekend.
It's just ludicrous, man. It's just ludicrous. How does he do it? How does he do it? I mean, you see that score and all of a sudden a lot of the control maps are out the window for mcy4, but he is going to go into No Mod 3. Another one of maliszewski's tournament specialties, the No Mod 3. But it's another one where mcy4 should be strong at. A lot of his strong maps do align with maliszewski's. That's the big worry about this. But he has had some excellent scores already, mcy4. He's just fallen slightly short due to his opponent. He needs to keep that level up if he wants to stay in this game. He needs this one to work.
We're going into this No Mod 3. This is mcy4's final pick until maliszewski has that pick to secure himself the tiebreaker if he loses this map. But this map is no joke, Doomsday. This is also extremely funky ult. This has some disgusting sliders. Just generally really difficult snap aim, very weird sliders, and there is also several sections with massive back and forth sliders. It's super slider heavy, super snap aim heavy, super terrifying if you are the one to play this map. But this is both their players' specialties. Both of our players in this map here know what they're doing on their ult. Considering mcy4 is the one picked, this is his last hope to get a point on the board until maliszewski gets that final pick.
Pretty long map as well, nearly 4 minutes of this. We'll see who blinks first.
See the slider starting to kind of show a little bit, starting to emerge. The calm before the storm, you could say. Both of these players look incredibly comfortable. Solid accuracy, dead even accuracy even. Going into this first KI, we started to see snap aim, started taking a bit into effect, that funky slider. These guys are so good at playing with my heart. And maliszewski's the first to break. Third of the way through, mcy4 takes the advantage here, but the comfort looks really confident. Look at the sliders and look how well mcy4 is hitting these. He may have missed a slider and on that very weird slider just there, but I think so far so good for mcy4. We're reaching the halfway point. Can he hold until then?
Yeah, really good opening here for mcy4. That winds down a little bit here, but it doesn't really let up much in its difficulty. It's very consistent. Still a lot of this map to go. But it's a huge opportunity here for mcy4.
He's got to win this map, Doomsday. He has to. This is probably the pick that he's been saving up, the one he knows he can win on. And And you can see why. Look at that incredible accuracy. You know this map's hard when maliszewski is on 98.5. You normally see him on that high 99 almost all the time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of combo game in here and there, for sure.
He's showing that incredible comfort, 1.1k, and climbing. The sliders are starting to ramp up even more, but mcy4 is not budging. We're going into the next ki here. maliszewski recovered really, really well, getting that 600 combo mark. Look at those crazy snap sections. They're both still hitting it. No signs of massive discomfort, but a break can happen at any point. That massive cross-snap slider doesn't mess with either player. maliszewski and mcy4 continue to hold. We're getting to this late stages here, and that 200,000 score lead for mcy4 continues to stay the same.
Some of the rhythms here, the act drops on those rhythm changes. It's still not over, man.
We're going into the final quarter. I think if mcy4 holds just a little bit longer, I don't think, regardless of what happens, maliszewski is going to be able to take the lead. It's extended into nearly a 300,000 score lead for mcy4. I think surely now it's sealed it. The accuracy and the comfort really has shown with this score. How is he so okay with cheesing that slider? That terrifies me. Do you see that? It literally just sits there and lets it go through.
Oh, he's gone again.
From maliszewski. Fantastic recovery. But regardless, mcy4 says, I am better. I am simply the strongest player on this map. And finally gets himself a point on the board, which could be an FC. Are we going to see him finish this off? Yes, he does.
Let's go. What FC?
An incredibly good FC from maliszewski the map before. Decides to, inspire mcy4 a little bit and get a brilliant 99 AC FC on that No Mod 3. Two incredibly tough maps FC'd by both these players.
What incredible FC from mcy4. He needed something special, and boy, did he get it there. Boy, did he get it there. Incredible stuff. And with it being Score V2, maybe if that was played on Score V1, I think it might have beaten the AC of the best FC on that leaderboard. I'd wager. Incredible from mcy4. But it's only the beginning here. It's his first point. He's going straight into some crazy motorcycle chasing Shiba. It's DT4. Ancient map time.
This is it. And let me just add here, that is the highest no mod AC in the leaderboard, I believe. I think it's only exceeded by one player in the leaderboard. So yes, this would have been number 3 in the leaderboards if this was on Score V1. Just insane stuff from mcy4, but already going into this double time 4, picked by maliszewski. This is some very unique double time here. Very, very unique double time. This is AR6 without double time, so with double time, it is still lower AR. AR 8.3 with some really funky kind of flowy snap aim, heavy aim control.
It's all about the control. It's all about the control for sure, which suits Malice down to the ground the way he's been playing. The middle section in this is the big one to watch for. If these two hold to then, there's a really hard pattern in the middle that could make a big difference in this game. We'll see if they make it though.
Oh, look at these sections here, overlapping circles and just back and forths a little bit there, zigzags the lot. If this doesn't describe aim control, I don't know what doesn't. I don't know what does, sorry. I don't know what does describe aim control if you don't know if this is an aim control. Look at this hard section here. Zigzags up and down.
Oh, hit it.
Big semicircle stream hit by mcy4, but maliszewski unfortunately breaks on the zigzags. Halfway mark here. Detrimental break for maliszewski.
Yeah, that's huge. Map's slightly more doable now. More of the patterns we saw earlier. Man, we don't see many players hitting that section. That is already above average for sure for mcy4 on this compared to what we've seen.
Goodness me, he's still going. The break comes through. mcy4 now knows he's in the driver's seat to take this map. Does he feel the pressure? We'll have to see. We know mcy4 for his strong tournament performances. Maybe the nerves isn't going to hit him as hard as your average player facing a titan like maliszewski.
With the rest of the map, really, it's like, I think this one's already decided. I think it's going to be a huge breakpoint here.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
will... The end pattern on this is really hard, by the way, so hold tight.
No. We're going to see a second FC in a row from mcy4. Oh, God, I know what you mean now. Jesus. Well, mcy4 may still get the 1 million. Sadly, not the FC, but a brilliant score nonetheless. He gets the second map in a row.
Another one on the board for mcy4. It's 4-2 now. The deficit is now only 2 points. Huge break point as well. mcy4 with the next pick. Maliszewski with the break on that middle section. But mcy4 hitting it like a champ. Another great score though, Maliszewski. 760k is very good on this.
I totally agree. Honestly, it was the timing of his break that really hit him hard. Aside from that one miss, did he hit the final section? I believe he did, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, wow. That goes to show how strong he is and how one small break at one awkward timing in the map can really change the tides of the game. But mcy4 now in the driver's seat to continue to try and push for as many maps as possible before Maliszewski hits match point. Hidden one's what's picked next.
Some speedy aim there next. mcy4 breaking out the mechanics battle. mcy4 is very strong on these. But he is going into hidden territory again, where Maliszewski is very comfortable. But I think this is a decent pick in terms of mcy's strengths. It's AR 9.9, because AR 10 is clearly way too fast. I don't know why mappers do that.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
be
don't know
honest.
either. To be honest, they gotta make sure they see the 9. If there's a 10, it shouldn't exist. Simple as that for these hidden maps. But here we go. This is it. Hidden 1. High SR jumps and really awkward aim. AR 9.9, pretty mechanics heavy. Something that's definitely a solid pick for mcy4, but once again, just standing in the territory of a player who is known for his incredible hitting capabilities. This is bound to be an exciting map, and here we go, Hidden 1. You already get a gist of those jumps. Pretty high BPM in these jumps here. You can tell this is mechanics intensive when you see those kind of jumps, man. Coming into this intro section, already really tough. Both these players holding accuracy advantage a little bit in favor of Maliszewski, but considering this is early stages, that's bound to potentially change. So we'll have to wait and see.
With a matchup like this, it could very well come down to those act drops. But the odd miss could certainly decide it too. I don't really want to say anything. Anything could happen here, Sheep, but it's a case of just watching and waiting to see who coughs first, if anyone.
Oh, big 1-2s! Hit by both players going into the first KI. Here we go. You can see these jumps start to ramp up a little bit in difficulty. Small lag drop there for mcy4. The accuracy advantage still holds in Maliszewski's favor, giving him that tiniest of leads, but it's really nothing special. It's really can still go anyway. Literally nothing could happen. The break comes through, both players know they're still holding. The pressure is on. We're reaching that halfway point.
Well, let's be honest, mcy4 with the odd act drop here and there is showing a little bit of discomfort compared to Maliszewski, who isn't dropping much at all. Does it show that maybe he's holding on a little bit at times on some of these 1-4s? We'll wait and see.
Oh, big jump section before the KI! Both the players hit it! Neither of them want to back down, Doomsday. They're really fighting for this. Probably one of the most hotly contested picks in this matchup.
For
and
sure.
you can see why. Wow, still holding on into the second KI. 2/3 of the way through this map! Big accuracy drop on the slider jump section there, but mcy4 continues to hold its combo. Accuracy still in favor of Maliszewski, but no breaks. Is this going to lead to an act battle? We'll have to wait and see. Another big jump section comes through and no breaks still. These guys are so damn consistent.
Yeah, the ending of this has the hardest aim pattern, so difficulty going up just a tiny bit here. With it being so tense now, they can't cough here. There's so much on the line on this map, dude.
Oh, knowing the break as well. They know. They know what's going on. They know what they have to do. They just have to hold. Nerves are going to be a big factor in this. Consistency is really going to be what matters here. And the jumps are starting to get really, really tough now. As you said, the late sections of this map get harder and harder. Still going. This is so intense, Doomsday. I don't know what to say. mcy4 breaks on that slider section. No, we saw him struggle on that before, and unfortunately, it got to him worse in this section here, just towards the very end. But we're gonna potentially see an FC from maliszewski, and we do indeed. Match point maliszewski. What an incredible map.
Completely shut out in the end. He had the acne the whole way. Just absolutely no doubt on that one from maliszewski. But what fight? What a fight on that. Take a bow of these. These two are going at it in this game. This has been incredible. maliszewski on match point now, though. The momentum completely stolen away.
Man, you can't help but be gutted if you're mcy4, man. Such an incredible performance throughout this map. 867k on this hidden one. You hate to see it, but maliszewski is just that guy. He's just a little bit better. And now he's got the next option to pick. He's got the opportunity to seal the deal here with his next pick. What is he going to go for next? My guess is that he's either going to go for the hidden 2 or the hidden 4. What do you think, Doomsday? What do you think he's going to go for potentially?
I think the hidden 2 would be a good shout. maliszewski's low AR hidden is very strong. mcy4 I don't think has been particularly comfortable. He's been okay, but not particularly spectacular so far. I think that would be a pretty safe choice, honestly. The hidden 4, a bit of a scarier one, but again, it plays into maliszewski's strengths, but it plays into mcy4's strengths as well. He's not going to do either of those things, though.
He's going to go for the dreaded double time 1.
The cursed DT1.
Oh, no, not again. Not again.
These two players better not have replaced their MP3s. It's a sign of weakness.
Here we go. Double time 1. Goodbye Singing. Sans edition. Can't believe I'm saying that. Can't believe those words coming out of my mouth. Doomsday.
That's the best cover, clearly.
Oh
it's
no.
Spookiest.
You've got chat rolled up now.
Come at me. Come at me.
He's holding the fort, guys. He's not going to back down.
Oh, mate, this is some high AR DT, by the way. It's AR 10.5, but it's a pretty standard DT aim map. There's a decent amount of speed in this, but after the way these two played the speed map earlier, I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's going to be another aim battle.
I think what makes this map a bit more difficult is that AR 10.5, definitely. You don't know these players particularly being strong on that 10.5. It might just be a situation where maliszewski just thinks he's slightly edging out on that map, on this skill set. 10.5. Aside from that, the mapping is pretty standard double time jumps at this stage. But maliszewski with an early break, giving mcy4 that early advantage. Accuracy not in mcy4's favor, but regardless, that combo is going to give him that lead a third of the way through this map. This map's relatively short, just under that 2-minute mark. We're really close to the halfway mark. Is mcy4 gonna hold on? No, he doesn't! He slider breaks just on the burst section, and now this is incredibly close. The accuracy from maliszewski is gonna definitely swing this lead even further for him. Oh, you hate to see it. He had the chance, but that burst section just gets to him. And you can't blame him. That 255 BPM after some crazy jumps is definitely gonna hit you hard.
Bit of speed here, bit of control.
Oh, they're both hitting it. maliszewski's got to break here if mcy4 wants room to push forward, but the longer maliszewski holds here, the harder it's going to be for him to come back. We're going into the final KI in the closing sections of this map. And maliszewski just refuses to break that accuracy, showing how prominent he is, how strong he is on this. A little bit of shakes, but that second break from mcy4, that's it. It's definitely over.
Yeah, that break's going to seal the deal for mcy4. Maliszewski, wow.
Yeah, do not let this score deceive you. mcy4 played incredibly well, but unfortunately for him, the unstoppable force barges through another formidable barrier, and he is in the winners' final stages. And mcy4, he's got a second chance in the losers bracket, and I believe guarantees himself in the redemption bracket too.
Yeah, that's definitely going to guarantee the top 6, right? So now he's got that lifeline. But I'm sure Maliszewski knows, or at least he'll be pretty confident of his chances first time around. He is the one to beat. And mcy4 put up an amazing fight. You mentioned it. But Maliszewski, he's going for the gold. And who is going to stop him? It's another 6-2, by the way. Another 6-2.
Actually, who? Literally, who is going to stop him? I think the only other player that Maliszewski can pull a challenge against is probably Zudinator, who is in the winners bracket stage against Bartek, which is going to be one of the other matches you're going to see this weekend. Actually, no, I actually believe not. I believe that match may actually be delayed. I have to double check with that, but
yeah, I think that match is happening at some point later on, not this weekend.
Yeah.
Zuti and Bartek.
It is. So it's the Zudi Bartek match, I believe, due to Bartek having an injury, I believe, has pushed the match way further into Friday of next week. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see who Maliszewski is going to face into the next week. I thought I'd inform you guys just in case you're not updated on that, which is fair because I think I only discovered it not long ago on the Discord. But our next match will be an hour from now at 16 UTC, Ciccone against Henry.
The second round of their losers bracket matches here. You see right there how the previous matches went. Henry having an impressive victory over Intercambing to get here, whereas Ciccone had a tougher fought victory over LOL234. They will meet to face off and possibly get a spot in the finals next week versus mcy4. That should be a banger of a match, Shiba.
You cannot lie, regardless of who wins here on that next match, the opponent being mcy4 is going to be even crazier. But Henry Ciccone is going to be great, guys. We'll see you in like an hour's time when that match happens. But look at this when it's bracket, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I think that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll be back soon in about an hour's time. Do not go anywhere. Stick around at the round table. You do not want to miss this match. I've been Shiba. Joined by me is the fantastic Doomsday. So good to cast with you again, sir. So good.
Oh, it's always a good time. It's always a good time. Cheers for the cast.
I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time. Take care.